Romans chapter 5 verse 9, King James Bible. Much more then, being now justified by his blood, we shall be saved from wrath through him. But why the blood? Well, the question we can ask is, what is blood?
What? Oh, Mr. DNA, where did you come from?
From your blood. Just one drop of your blood contains billions of strands of DNA, the building blocks of life. A DNA strand, like me, is a blueprint for building a living thing. A full DNA strand contains 3 billion genetic codes. If we looked at screens like these once a second for 8 hours a day, it'd take 2 years to look at the entire DNA strand. It's that long.
Leviticus chapter 17 verse 11, King James Bible. For the life of the flesh is in the blood, and I have given it to you upon the altar to make an atonement for your souls. For it is the blood that maketh an atonement for the soul. The life is in the blood. Literally. There is so much more to the Bible, so much bigger than the world can even believe if they just take the time to look. You see, when Adam sinned in the garden, whether it was a literal fruit or it was something much bigger, and that is just symbolic, either way, it affected our blood, our genetics, and spiritually and physically, it was death. Adam eventually died. Spiritually, he was fallen. Romans chapter 5 verse 18, King James Bible. Therefore, as by the offense of one judgment came upon all men to condemnation. That's speaking about Adam's fall. Even so, by the righteousness of one, the free gift came upon all men unto justification of life. That is Jesus Christ. You see, when God looks at Jesus Christ, in all ways, he is perfect. He is sinless. And when you are saved, you receive that gift of salvation by Jesus Christ, by his blood, by his perfection, sinless perfection. You see, when God looks at you, he looks at his Son instead of you when you're saved, so that you now are complete in Christ. You see, the world doesn't want to take the time and look at what actually is going on, because even in the secular, atheistic world, they are telling everybody that our genetics, they are computer code. It is a blueprint for life, not only in our blood, but in the entire existence of creation.
These are pictures of equations. I've been, for the last 15 years, trying to answer the kinds of questions that my colleagues here have been raising. And what I've come to understand is that there are these incredible pictures that contain all the information of a set of equations that are related to string theory. And it's even more bizarre than that, because when you then try to understand these pictures, you find out that buried in them are computer codes, just like the type that you find in a browser when you go surf the web. And so I'm left with the puzzle of trying to figure out whether I live in the Matrix or not.
Wait, you're blowing my mind at this moment. So you're saying, are you saying your attempt to understand the fundamental operations of nature leads you to a set of equations that are indistinguishable from the equations that drive search engines and browsers on our computers?
That is correct. So,
Wait, I have to just be silent for a minute here. So you're saying as you dig deeper, you find computer code writ in the fabric of the cosmos?
into the equations that we want to use to describe the cosmos, yes.
Computer code.
Computer code, strings of bits of ones and zeros.
It's not just sort of resembles computer code. You're saying it is computer code.
It's not even just is computer code. It's a special kind of computer code that was invented by a scientist named Claude Shannon in the 1940s. That's what we find very, very deeply inside the equations that occur in string theory and in general in systems that we say are supersymmetric.
Okay. Time to go home, I think. Where are we going to go? So are you saying we're all just, there's some entity that programmed the universe and we're just expressions of their code?